Hello, Senior Stoner fans. This is the real Senior Stoner back at you for your crimson stickered Carta dab of the day. Today is Saturday. Hello, everybody. Well, today's topic, like every other, I think is a significant help topic for others. Let's get into it. Habits. Habits. We all have our habits, don't we? How many of you have bad habits? I do. How many of you have habits that you've picked up over the years? How many of you have habits that you wish you didn't have? Habits are just repeated things that we do. They become habitual, it's called, repetitive, and sometimes you could call it OCD, obsessive compulsive type stuff. If it's a habit and you're just compulsive and obsessive about a habit, maybe you touch your nose all the time, you touch your ear all the time, you say you turn to the left every time before you go out of your parking lot, whatever your habit is. Some habits, however, are not good habits. Some habits hurt us. So people who live in pain, like us, people who are uncomfortable, what is our habit? What is our reflex action we do from our pain? Well, habitually, we probably hunker down a lot. Habitually, we probably stay away from people a lot. Habitually, we probably use a lot of medicine and as much pain relieving medicine as we can. Maybe the word habit I think habit, behavior, these are habits that we've learned. What if all that went away? What if there was no more medicine available? What if the pharmaceutical medication was no longer out there? We would have to relearn new habits to replace the old habits to do the same thing for our mind or our body. Habits are things that give you elicit some feeling or response from a habit, from the actions you take, either physically or mentally or emotionally. So you'd have to replace that with something else. But we may have a lot of time on our hands in the next few weeks or few months. Isn't it going to be an interesting time for us to look at the habits that we have? And would we like to make changes? This is kind of like taking a personal inventory of yourself, your behaviors. And your behaviors are like this, and then like that. What is that one? And then your behaviors are like this, and then like that. Well, what is that one? Well, those are the two really interesting habits that you have that no matter what you're doing, you have to do. You're out at a restaurant, and your habit is you have to straighten your placemat. You're in your own house, you have to straighten your placemat. Your habit is you have to take a clean wipe and wipe your dish. That's a habit. You have to now evaluate which habits are good and which habits are bad. But you can't make the evaluation until you admit to yourself you have habits, that you live in a habitual situation. So it's another one of these things where looking at it straight on is better. It's another one of these situations that is a little bit divergent from our normal rule. Our normal rule is, how does the baby shark hear from mama shark to eat the big whale? One bite at a time, honey. But in situations, sometimes you have to take drastic action. Sometimes you have to take that whole clump and take the bite and just deal with it. If you have a habit that's bad, for example, in this situation of we're having right now with cleanliness and viruses, if you pick your nose, you need to find a way to do something else. Start picking your fingernails. Hold a pen in your hand and open it and close it. A pen in your hand. Open it and close it. Get one that clicks, that you can hear and feel. Maybe you'll have the same sensation. Try to find habits that are less destructive. If you have a habit of doing heavy drinking and waking up throwing up, that's a bad habit. We need to find a way to replace that habit with something else. I don't want to be the one to say this. It might be wrong, but maybe you eat a lot instead of drink a lot. And you wake up with a stomach ache instead of throwing your guts up and dying of liver cirrhosis. Habits, everyone has, but we have to identify which of those habits are the ones we want to keep and which of those habits are the ones we want to cast away. Let's have a dab of our neon lights. Nice sativa diamond to get started today. It is a very nice weather day out there. Mrs. Stoner and I are going to be traveling one place today to get gasoline for the generator in case something even worse happens. Habits. Keep the good ones, throw the bad ones away, and modify them. In this case we're having right now of worst case scenarios, be prepared. Err on the side of have more in the house. Cheers. Habits. We all have them. We all have habits. The key is which one do we want to keep, which one do we want to modify, and which one do we want to get rid of. It's an individual thing, but we all put our pants on one leg at a time. And don't feel bad if you have bad habits that you want to change. Start now. Cheers, everybody.